Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a quick look here at Solana, making sure we understand what's going to happen next here. And again, this does look like a potential head and shoulders pattern. So I definitely agree with you. Whomever commented earlier today, that's absolutely a valid point. We're going to talk about that as well as a few other key factors too in the back end. So be sure to stick around to the end. I'll make it very quick and brief for you here. Let's jump into the back end data here with liquidation and kind of just see what's going on really quick. And just to clarify, as before, this hasn't changed too much, but we still have a large concentration of liquidation above the price action here, so there's potential for that to be swept. Of course, we got to recognize too there's a decent amount of leverage at about $51 to $54 as well. Okay, so that head and shoulders pattern does come through. We could very well see that lower level swept. Okay, so again, I know that's a concern for a lot of you folks, and we want to expect the worst and hope for the best, but the truth is, when it comes to trading, if you're using large position size and large leverage in a situation like this, you are going to get wrecked potentially. Okay, so again, always recommend low leverage, low position size until we have full on confirmation. While we did reject here at about 61.15 as anticipated, the price action was unable to close above that level and essentially give us that confirmation for a long. Okay, right now we have a bearish engulfing candle here on the daily time frame. So let's take a quick look at a few other key factors. So again, we've talked about this previously, but we're still ascending positively. The overall trend is still bullish, but that doesn't mean we cannot still correct ourselves down to this lower level, $50 to $54. That's still a possibility. Okay, I'd just like to get that through to you just to make sure you understand best and worst case scenario. Obviously, better case scenario, the price shoots up, but we're not in a position right now where it's looking like that. We've become invalidated from yesterday as soon as today's candle opened, honestly, because the price action continued lower through that rejection zone. Okay, so again, 0.5 Fibonacci, 61.15 is that level I'm referring to. We've identified that previously where the price action was coming up to these 3 fib levels, and we had 3 potential scenarios, and 0.5 was one of the major levels we had to pay attention to. I'm glad we did at this point because, again, in this situation right now, it does look unfavorable. We're underneath the 20 and the 50-day simple moving average. Down below, we are below 50 on the RSI as well. It's also a bearish sign with the money flow index coming out and a MACD divergence. Okay, so truth be told here, we are absolutely in the bearish side of things. That's fully confirmed now at this point. It's not to say the price can't still recover, but we want to assume it's going to continue lower. We do have this tentative support, previous resistance at about $58. Again, as I mentioned earlier today, a closure above $58 would be nice. That would kind of invalidate this potential downtrend. But we're at 57.27, and we still got about an hour and a half left in today's trading day. While it's not over yet, there is potential to recover there. The truth here is that we want to just kind of expect it to continue lower until it doesn't. Okay? All the more reason to look for reasons not to take a trade, which I think we don't have good confirmation in either direction at this point. And we want to remain patient and just vigilant to ensure that we find a good entry at the right time. Again, I try to talk about that as often as possible, but it can be easy to overlook a lot of times when you're trying to get a good entry or you have a bad entry, like do I cut my losses, do I jump in? There's a lot of little things that should be taken into consideration, but again, if you're using responsible trading and you're using your own risk tolerance, you should know that by now. Okay, you can't just jump into a trade and kind of hope for the best or expect it just to go where you want it to go, because when it doesn't, you got to have a game plan ready. Okay, that's the important thing. I teach that in my Academy videos. Be sure to check that out. Oh, also, quick heads up, I'm getting phenomenal feedback here on this exchange, Bitunix. Fantastic exchange. You use my link down below. No KYC, no VPN required. You get some significant bonus rewards there. In fact, we're going to have like a trading competition here in the relative near future. Next couple of days, I think we're doing some type of incentive situation there where, with I forget what it is specifically, but I'll provide that to you here in a moment. Of course, you'll be notified later. Anyways, cool exchange. Be sure to check them out. Now, with Solana on the hourly, here's what we want to look at. It's a couple of situations here. Now, previously, Solana, when it hits a 9 on TD sequential, it'll either consolidate, go sideways for a little while, make a decision. In this case, it continued lower. Of course, that was when Bitcoin is selling off. And we can see here as well, we got a 9 on TD sequential, goes sideways and up. Okay. So the truth is, it continues in the same direction it's heading in most cases when we hit a 9 on TDS. So in this case here, we can kind of presume the price is going to go sideways and down, but there's also potential, of course, for it to recover because we are honoring this ascending trend line tentatively. Okay, I like to emphasize the word tentative because that is not official yet for us to just bounce off that level. That's just not the way that trend lines work. Okay, so again, try not to read into that. But we are overextended to the downside. There is that slight consolation. We should see some consolidation or a potential relief rally. The key here, though, is that if the price were to come back up, we need a solid closure above $58. That's the key level there for me. because what that'll do for us is that'll invalidate the cloud. Essentially, if we'd be traveling within the cloud if we're at 58 plus. We still want to wait for confirmation. Even if we get to 58, that does not mean we take a long position. That just implies that we are in a better position than we were before. Okay, because again, the cloud here is really just telling us with both the upper and lower lead that we are in a bearish scenario. When we talked earlier today, we were right here at the lower end of the cloud, and I said to wait for confirmation. We now have confirmation that the price action is not really worth taking along right now. Again, I get a lot of folks asking, hey, why don't I just buy the dip right now because it's lower than it was before we had confirmation? But we still don't have it. The only thing we have confirmation on is that a long position would be a bad idea. Okay, because this is confirming here that if you have a short position open, you leave it open because we have good momentum. We're below the cloud. This is a perfect scenario for a short. Okay, so again, if you're in a long right now, you got to weigh your options and understand that the price could come all the way down to the 51 to 54 mark as a potential here to fulfill the Elliott Wave pattern here. Okay, again, this is no guarantee, of course, but there is definite probability of the price action continuing that to that lower point now that we have confirmed below these support levels. Okay. Once more, still a little early. I would recommend just kind of waiting on the sidelines here, not taking a trade. If you do have a trade, again, consider your options, of course. I would not say necessarily to close that because it may not continue tremendously lower, but it also might too, right? We got to be ready and prepared for that. So anyways, hopefully that makes sense and I described that correctly, but we have mostly bearish signs here at this point, so you do what you will with that information. I would recommend, though, again, just being safe and using low position size, and by all means, low leverage whenever possible. We use 5 to 10x tops in our community. We took some very healthy trades here recently. If you look at our scalping trades, Litecoin, Solana, we milked the heck out of Matic and BNB. If you look at all these BNB trades, these all came in this morning when BNB wicked up. Tremendous amount of profit there. Again, congrats to our Plus members for that. Regardless, my day trading bot right now has a short open for Solana, if that gives you any indication. Okay. All right, so hope this was beneficial. Thanks again for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.